Hello everyone and welcome to the Halo Championship Series Fall Final 2017. It is Championship Sunday live at DreamHack Denver. Welcome back everyone to the Xfinity Desk as we get ready for an incredible day of Halo action. I'm Golden Boy, your host for this day of Halo alongside Onset and Elamite Warrior. Gentlemen, this is shaping up to be a great day of competition. Onset, I want to get your quick thoughts because EU had a big event this weekend. No, you feeling good?
I was feeling pretty good, yeah. I've got to say, I'm just making sure my mic is on. I like
You want to do your best?
I'm throwing him on the bus already.
You want to do your best Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson impression?
Do you want me to do it?
Do it.
Denver, do you want my Rock impression? We're going to get this going. You ready?
Do it. There you go.
Finally, Halo has come back to DreamHack Denver.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, after I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone.
Tell me that didn't feel good, though.
Yeah, that felt great. I know when he does it all the time now.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, yeah, it was a big day yesterday for Europe. They had a hell of a performance, best ever placing at an international competition. Very proud of the boys, but today it's all about the 4 teams that we have left.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of Envyus, they had so many great highlights. Elamite, want to get your thoughts on this team, you know, kind of like the rise of this squad and finally breaking through that glass ceiling, it feels.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite some time since we've seen the European teams really come over here and be able to compete and finally breaking into that top 6, even defeating Straight Ripid, which has a monstrous squad of very big resumes there from that talent there. So EU really showing up here, and I think everyone, especially EU fans, are proud of their performance.
That's right. On top of that, too, we also had incredible performances from Splyce. They just looked clinical. The way that they dissected the competition constantly throughout the day, Onset.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that was the question for me about Splice coming into this tournament is, can they replicate what they did at the summer season finals? And it looks like they haven't missed a beat. They've been absolutely on fire for the entire event. They took Envy out with pretty, consummate ease in the competition. And we always talk about how you have that Optic Envy Splice sort of yardstick, and to take out one of your closest rivals in that manner, I mean, Splice, they're looking like they haven't skipped a beat.
That's right. And we have so much more to talk about with these teams as our 4 teams left: Liquid, Envy, Optic Gaming, and Splyce. It's going to be a barn burner indeed. But for now, though, we actually did get an opportunity to catch up with the one and only Jimbo from Envyus for our special Xfinity Speed Session.
My name is James Bradbrook, also known as Jimbo. I'm a pro player for Team Envyus, and this is the Xfinity Speed Session. My arch enemy to play against is probably going to be a European player because I'm more likely to play against him. It's probably someone like Ramirez. We always play each other in like the finals of European tournaments. Fastest person in the HCS is probably Shooter. I think I remember seeing a video about him talking about it, so I definitely have to say Shooter. Favorite place Halo's taken me is probably Aspen. I attended the X Games a couple years back, and the mountains and the snow was just absolutely amazing. You don't get that in the UK. Probably not too happy about me playing Halo. I think originally they were definitely against it, but I think once I started winning events and actually getting money from the events, they're a bit more flexible about it and they're a bit more supportive about it. I probably still think they want me to get a job though. The hardest thing about Halo is probably the practice. You've got to be on every day. You've got to keep up with everyone else. You know, people are playing like solid 8-hour days as well as practice. So the hardest thing is probably practice. The best thing is got to be winning events. I've got like maybe 11 event wins, I think it is now, across multiple European events, and that's probably the best. Winning my first event was absolutely amazing because it was my second event I'd ever attended. I won the free-for-all as well as the 44, so my emotions were just out of it. It was an insane feeling to think all that work I'd done, all that playing I'd done had paid off. Definitely got to be soccer. I can't call it soccer, it's weird. I want to call it football, but definitely football/soccer. Have I ever met a girl for the internet? Yes. Did it go well? No. So I'll leave it at that. Favorite sports team is got to be either my local team, which is Reading, so this is back for soccer, football, or probably Manchester United, probably. Should pineapple go on pizza? Definitely not. It's a fruit. It doesn't deserve on hot food. This has been the Xfinity Speed Session. My name is James Bradbrook, also known as Jimbo, player for Team Envyus. If you could drop me a follow on Twitter, it's at JimboGPK, as well as watch my stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jimbo, and thanks for having me.
The only correct answer there was pineapple on pizza? No, I agree with this. Nothing else matters beyond that. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. Anyone who says otherwise, don't shake your head.
I like
that looks
pineapple
like
on pizza, honestly.
Wow. Division. You like pineapple on pizza?
I do.
What is wrong with you?
It explains a lot.
It explains so freaking much.
I bet.
Now we just got to go ahead and move past that. I don't know how I can work with this man, his pineapple pizza lover here. But in any case, so guys, we have a great show in store for you all today. And let's actually just go ahead and jump into the bracket here and see how we got to this point. As you guys can see, it was a long, arduous journey for our teams in the championship winners bracket. We are now left with 2 on that side. It will be Splyce and Optic Gaming. Splyce have just looked absolutely deadly throughout this competition. But then you take a look at the elimination bracket, though. Final 2 teams, Envy and Liquid. For Envy, not a position I thought that they thought they were going to be in here, right? They didn't think that they were going to be in that losers bracket spot. And we'll talk about them a little bit more. Lots to take away from that. But any matches in particular from yesterday, Ilmite, that you happen to enjoy perhaps commentating?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the last match of the night between Envyus and Luminosity was just absolutely absurd. It was one of the best series we've seen. I don't think Envyus was playing at the top of their game, but Luminosity was, and they, in my opinion, should have taken that series. So I know, and I ran into some of those guys last night, so they're not happy about that performance because they knew how close they were to their first top 3 finish.
Yeah, I mean, they let it slip through their fingers. I mean, Trippy, shout out to that guy. What a performance in that series from him. You talk about series where you look back at a player developing and maybe standing out and moving into that next level of player. And I thought Trippy just had one of those series. He made so many clutch plays, got so many clutch kills, and almost won the series for his squad. But you got to give credit to Envy. We said it before, they came back. They managed to win a series when they weren't playing well, when their opposition was playing on fire. So,
yeah,
what can you take away from that? Envy are still winning when they're playing badly, but bad luck to Luminosity.
Yeah, we're going to take a closer look at Envy in a little bit, but totally agree there. I mean, just insane games across the board from yesterday. But now let's go ahead and discuss the format for this competition, how it had all panned out throughout the weekend here. Friday, we started with the open bracket as the best and brightest in the amateur scene and beyond took the stage to go and, maybe try their chances, maybe get into the champ bracket. We had some success stories coming out of that one. Then Saturday, we had the championship bracket. That's when we concluded with 4 teams, and here we are, Championship Sunday. Now let's go ahead and discuss what these players are playing for. Lots of cash on the line, $200,000 up for grabs. The lion's share of that. First place gets $70,000. Second place takes home $45,000. Third place takes $26,000, and then fourth place will take home $15,000. Notable placements on there: Evil Geniuses and Straight Rippin' finishing in 7th and 8th. Most importantly, though, on the 5th and 6th side, Luminosity, after an incredible series yesterday against Envy, will fall in that 5th, 6th position. And Infuse, the highest placing for a European team in an international event. And I'm sure for them, I'm sure they would have loved to have been here. They were close to being here. Unfortunately, Liquid was the one who thwarted that dream. How do you feel, though, about Infused?
Incredibly proud, to be honest with you. It's about time, that we've had some European teams actually step up to the plate. We've had numerous competitions now where we've seen the EU teams fly out to play against these NA teams, and they needed to pull out a performance. And it's not just Infused as well. There's top 12 finishes in there for Supremacy and for Vexed as well.
Yeah.
All of the teams got through to the champ bracket from the Open that were in there, so it's a massive positive step for European Halo, and I think Infuse definitely carried the flag. I feel sorry for them as well because they put so much into that Straight Ripping series, then had to go and immediately play against Liquid. And I mean, it's always difficult, we're playing through a bracket, but I think they were just exhausted by the time they got to that one. But they still put up a good fight against Liquid. But Liquid just too strong, but they should be really, really happy with how they performed this tournament.
As T-Squared said numerous times, as well as you, Kyle, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And in those games, you're going to lay everything out in the line, but you have to keep on going at that point. But let's go ahead and switch topics to our final 4 teams here. And Elamite, I'm going to start with you on this one. Team Liquid, this is a team that has a lot of talent. They just haven't quite hit that that point yet where like they can break through to that. They're consistently in the top 4, top 3, but I don't know, something about it just seems to be holding them back here.
Yeah, and what's been holding them back is Team Envy, because every time they've matched up with this squad, they've fallen barely short. So many close series. I mean, just think back to Atlanta, up 2-0, and the reverse sweep from Envy, all very close games here. And what we saw from Envy yesterday is, you know, even though some of the issues have been worked out that they had from Atlanta, there looks like there's some new issues there. Something is not clicking, and this is absolutely Liquid's opportunity to get top 3.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think it's very rare, and I don't remember a time that we've gone, oh, Liquid got swept aside by a team like it was nothing. They're always close games. They're always competitive games. It's just those last few moments of a game or a series, as you say, where they seem to just not be able to pull out the W. It's one of those things. I always look at Splyce as a great example of what can happen to a team if you break through that glass ceiling. We saw Splyce. They finally made it happen in Atlanta. They got into that final. They won that final. And then from now on, they're talked about as being potential tournament favorites. I feel like if Liquid can find themselves in that final, just find a way to scrape and claw their way into that final, I think it will do wonders for the confidence of this team.
Very true. But as you had alluded to before, the team that is in their way is Team Envyus, the boys in blue. Undefeated in the season. These guys have just been performing throughout. But Onset, want to get your thoughts on this roster here, because one thing that we had noticed yesterday was a lack of aggression this team, and that was a key to victory, hilariously enough. So have they found this? Can they get that aggression? Is a day's sleep good enough for this?
Let's hope so for Envy fans, and let's hope so for all the players on the team. We saw Pistola playing some amazing Halo yesterday. I think he was the standout performer for me on that Envious lineup. But talking about aggression, and we spoke with a couple of the players in the hotel lobby yesterday. They were saying it's one of those things with aggression, you have to all be on the same page. You have to make the decisions and all go at the same time, or all decide to do what one of your teammates is calling out to do. I feel yesterday they were kind of stuck between making a decision or listening to their own natural instincts.
Yeah.
So I think when Envy have always played their best, they've taken the fight to the opposition. That's when they've beaten Optic Gaming. And I think they just have to do that. They just have to believe in each other and believe in themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good point to bring up. I mean, all 4 members on Envy are just insanely talented roster. Hook, Snipe Down, Pistola. These guys are literally legends from Halo, and some of them have been around competing since 2007. Like, looking at Pistola, they're free-for-all champion, 4v4 champion. I've said it before, you can never count this team out. They've made multiple lower bracket runs all the way through tournaments before, after falling short, or falling short in the winners bracket. So Envy, not looking solid yesterday, but overnight things can absolutely change.
Yeah, if there is a team that I expect to wake up here because of the caliber and pedigree of player, it is without a doubt going to be Team Envyus. But let's go ahead and talk about the other side of the bracket here. A team that's kind of flown a little underneath the radar in this competition because you just expect them to perform is Optic Gaming. And let's discuss this team because we haven't, everyone's been seeing them compete out here and they've just been on fire, doing what Optic Gaming does best. But can they win it all, Onset?
Yes, I believe they can. I mean, I predicted before this tournament that I thought Envy were going to win it for numerous different reasons. But having seen how Optic have played and their mentality coming into this tournament, I can't bet against them. They've been playing lights out Halo. They barely have been challenged in the series they're playing. They took down Liquid 3-1 yesterday. It felt like a fairly simple series for them. But not only that, I think they're more than aware than anyone that they haven't won a tournament in a while now. Optic Gaming are winners. They're known for winning tournaments, and when you don't do that for a while, it lights a little bit of a fire under you. When people aren't talking about you as being that #1 team, when people start predicting Splice, Envy, and the likes of those teams to win ahead of you, Optic aren't the kind of players who like to hear that.
Funny note, we had talked about this before during the rehearsal, but I got to bring it up now and get your reaction to this. Halo World Championship 2015, CLG, well, now Optic Gaming, streamed their scrims. They didn't care. They were like, we're the best. We're going to win no matter what. Now, they're not streaming their scrims anymore. They got really serious. It's almost as if, to make a Dragon Ball Z reference, Frieza started to train and then became very, very good. I don't know if you get that reference.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I've never watched Dragon Ball Z.
Come on.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, you take a look at Optic Gaming. I mean, Royal 2, his gamer tag for the first World Championships was Royal 2 million. That's how confident they were, and everyone else really knew they were playing for second place. Now is the very first time that we have 4 teams. I think in Atlanta we almost had 4, but Liquid definitely falling short Luminosity putting up a challenge last night. We have 4 to 6 teams now that can compete for the first place, and Optic Gaming absolutely capable of taking it. If you bet against them or don't think they are, then you clearly don't watch Halo 5, because all 4 of those guys are ridiculous.
Yeah, and that is just the fear that Optic Gaming puts into their opponents. But on the other side, going up against them is Splyce, this young team that shows no fear, nothing to lose, right? Because their future is so bright on set. They have so much in front of them, and they perform time in and time again. And another team who's looked relatively unfazed throughout this competition.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, it's freaky talent that they have on this team. Every single player, you look at Renegade, you look at Shotzi. I mean, those 2 guys, I mean, if you're ever going to play against them, you know you've lost before the game's even started, essentially. But I want to talk a little bit about Shooter in this team, because he has to nurture these players, not only inside, but outside of the game as well. He has installed a mentality in this team, this Splyce team, full of young players, full of young talent, where they just want to win, which is so difficult. When you have these young players on the team, you have to help them grow up very quickly in-game and out of game. You have to teach them how to deal with a loss in a series. You have to teach them how to prepare for a loser's bracket run if you fall into that. And you have to teach them how to close games out and stay calm in situations. So I have to give massive props to Shooter. You'll hear him in-game. And the same with Booby Doobu. Another player, a young player, but very mature.
Yeah.
So those 2 players really do sort of steer the ship as far as Splyce is concerned, and it cannot be underestimated what they bring to the team.
And you have to give some love to Coach Phil as well. He's been with those guys for quite some time, and when you have a young roster like that, it is that added responsibility. So coaches on every different team can fill so many different roles, whether or not you're just helping get whatever the players need and calling out times, or actually instructing people where to go and what to do. And when you have a young gun, he's almost babysitting them while they're here. If their parents, they probably have to sign release forms.
Yeah, I mean, that's how young these players are. But the talent is there, and I would not be surprised if Splyce walks away as your Denver champions. That being said, though, we want you guys to walk away with some cool stuff as well. Cool stuff, you might ask? Oh, yeah, it's an Xbox One X. That's right. That new hotness coming out pretty soon this winter, as a matter of fact. All the flops are going to be on your face, teraflopping all day, every day. And we're going to get, Master Chief Collection 4K. We're going to get Halo 5 4K, right? I'm pretty pumped for that.
I want one. I've got to be honest. I don't have one. I've got like when you first buy the Xbox One, when it comes out, and there's like little bits falling off the side of it. You know, there's little questionable stains all over it as well. I'm just
questionable stains.
Go into too much detail about it, but yeah, my Xbox One needs a refresh.
You definitely have a problem. I mean, what do you... Okay.
That being spilled coffee, right?
Yeah, sure. That being said, guys, it's very easy to enter into that giveaway. Use the hashtag HCS and also include a link to the stream. It could be mixer.com/Halo or twitch.tv/Halo. Either or, and you will be entered, or both, maximum damage, and you will be entered into the giveaway. Also, you can get social about it on Twitter by using @ESLHalo and @HCS. Let us know what you think, who you think is going to win this competition. 4 teams remain, and it's going to be incredible. Now, let's go ahead and shift focus to our first match of the day. It is going to be the Green Wall, Optic Gaming, facing off against Splyce. So excited for this matchup. I can't wait for those Splyce skins because they're hot fire. Oh boy, I'm excited for this game.
It's not only the Splyce skins, it's another potential skin for Frosty to zoom in and maybe lay a few extra bullets into when it comes to it. Hopefully this rivalry continues how it has started, because I mean, we saw this game back at some of season finals, and I mean, what a series it was. One of the most crazy Coliseum capture the flag games I've seen in the entirety of Halo 5, and at the moment, I'm favoring Optic. I said I think Optic will win it, but I think this series will decide the winner of the tournament. I think it will be one of these 2 teams. So, I mean, flip a coin.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do agree with you on that one. Elamite, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion as well, it's going to be one of these 2 teams that takes this event. And Optic Gaming, they've had a long time since Atlanta to dwell on that loss and do everything they can to prepare here for Denver. And Splyce, maybe they got a little complacent. That's what it looked like in the beginning of Pro League, but you know who is not, and that's this Optic Gaming squad.
Frosty, Lethal, Snakebite, Royal 2, 2-time world champions. Halo World Championships right around the corner again. What a time to win an event, Onset.
Yeah, what a time to get back into the groove before the Halo World Championships. Obviously, we had the awesome announcement, another Halo World Championships coming up, and you know that man on screen there, he's going to want to add another ring to that collection. And I think all of those players will. I think right now, you lay the marker down. You win this tournament, you're favorite for Worlds. It's as simple as that.
Very true. And we're going to have the series layout coming up here in just a little bit. Want to get your thoughts, though, on Splyce, Elamite, because a two-peat would be great for this young team. I mean, you're correct on set, a momentum going into Worlds, but for a young squad like Splyce to pull off a two-peat victory on that stage, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Splyce would then be the only team besides Optic to actually go out and do that. I think, some teams or tournaments have been won, but, keep in mind, Optic Gaming did not attend all of the open events here in North America. So Splyce, on the other hand, they looked good yesterday. I know as far as scrims and practice go, Envy and Optic, they've been having trouble getting some scrims. Splyce is not playing against these guys, and that's for one reason only, and that's because they know it's their biggest competition, and they want to prepare and surprise them at this event, and that's what happened to Envy last night.
Well, let's get some predictions in, guys. On set, what do you have?
I'm going to go with the green wall.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a Game 7, though. I think this is going to be a hot series, and I'm looking forward to that Coliseum capture the flag, game number 6. If it's anything like Atlanta, it's going to be fire.
Okay, what about for you, Elamite?
I'm feeling that Splyce actually might take it too.
Oh, split on the desk.
I'm going to say 4-2, but I think we'll see a rematch again, and at that point I might change my prediction when Optic makes that run through low.
I'm predicting I'm going to change my prediction to who wins.
What a cop-out answer.
Well, winner's prediction and then a champ's prediction.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, it's time to start our winner bracket final. I hope you guys are excited in the crowd. I hope you're excited at home, because you better get up, get loud, because it's game day. Let's send it over to your casters, Gaskin and Strongside.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Yeah, what an epic day we've got ahead of us. Predictions, though. I mean, I honestly just want to get right into this.
I mean, I'm liking Carl's prediction. His 4-2. Looking at the statistics for these game types, I'm thinking 4-2 to Splyce. Yeah. I think they're going to go 2-0 up. Maybe they'll get one back for Optic, and then we'll see Splyce take another, but it's going to go down to that game 6 before they win this series.
I caught Boobadooboo as he was sprinting over to go to the bathroom, and I got a chance to run with him and talk with him real quick. And I was like, hey, so you're back in the winners finals. You're facing off against Optic Gaming. Like, how's that feel? And he's like, no, we're just happy. We're happy to play. Like, they have that happy-go-lucky mentality. They just want to play Halo. They want to keep the games going. I asked him, what happens when you guys lose? How do you guys recover? What do you do? And he's like, we just fist bump, look forward to playing the next game, and we move on. So really looking forward to seeing if they're going to be able to continue that hot streak we saw in Atlanta, kicking things off. Game number 1 on Strongholds the Rig with Boobadooboo as he zips across the map here over towards the Nest Stronghold, but he opts to make a little bit of a flank here. Gonna get some shots on Lethal and some nades as well. Not gonna connect with the grenade, but he'll continue that flank. Finds Lethal again. Will he get the finish? Not gonna be able to. Lethal will best him.
Fun fact, we haven't seen Splyce lose so far on this game type in Pro League, but they have just played it once, Mike, so I'm not going to harp on about it too much. But I like what I've seen from the start from Splyce. They've been very patient. They're not pushing things too aggressively. They're trying to work together, and Shooter's got his hands on some decent weapons as well here. Having the railgun is really important, and now you can see he's trying to control the outside area of this map, pushing over towards this nest.
Yeah, Shooter with the railgun, taking it slow. No need to make any aggressive pushes. And the scatter shot in the hand, though. Oh, no, that is not going to turn out good for him, as he's going to lose both the railgun and the scatter shot. Finally, we see some points being put on the board by Splyce as Lethal is down below the map here. What a shot there to find Shotzi across the map. Great sight line and great awareness as well to listen to those teammates' callouts. But Renegade was able to pick up the railgun, as you'll notice that in the kill feed. And Lethal just kind of backing up, but not able to get the finish there over to Renegade, who's going to get the reset with the railgun.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to lose the scatter shot there in Whitehall, but we've seen Renegade now grab some real power weapons, having the railgun, and now he's going to push out and try and make sure no one survives in BR bases. Unfortunately misses that one, but I like the aggressive push onto BR base. They're setting a statement here, Splyce. They're saying, we're not going to allow you to play your game. Instead, we're going to keep this fast. We're going to keep this upbeat like our game is usually.
Well, Camo's going to be up in 20 seconds, so we'll see a few players maybe put their sights towards that here in just a moment. But Shooter is going to get the reset and stay alive here in that BR base and begin to make the flank with the scatter shot. Knows a player is above him, will get the shot and stay alive. Get some great nades, even some teammates to help out there to make sure no player is going to push through that. And camouflage is up. Let's see if anyone is in place to pick this up. It doesn't look like it just yet. No player picking that up, but it's does look like the players are fighting down in the bottom mid area, and that is going to be Snakebite who acquires the camera.
Yeah, Optic waited very patiently there. Despite they didn't have control of the Strongholds, they knew full well Camouflage was coming up. They set up accordingly around it. Snakebite was able to pick it up, picked up a big kill because of it, and now they have total control as well. So Splyce on the back foot, need to get off this spawn, need to try and get some important slays, but they've been staggered by Optic. Optic, they've timed these kills perfectly, and Splyce are outnumbered every time off spawn.
Snakebite with a little goodie in his back pocket. He's got the Needler. We've seen this used a few times. Not very often, though. Some nades are going to get connected there as two players from Optic Gaming go down. Snakebite will stay alive for just a moment to finish off the kill, but will get meleeed in the back and go down. Now, Splyce looking to try and get some type of control. Scatter shot is up about a minute for that next camo, so they can put some more focus towards the Strongholds and not worry too much about the power-ups. They've got the power weapon in their hands, and if they can use this to defend this off and can keep control of the nest and basement, they are going to be looking good and slowly start to creep back up on Optic Gaming.
Notice how important it was that Shotzi moved out of basement there to get the scatter shot as well. He really prioritized the power weapon rather than getting the basement straight away. And he was rewarded because he picked up a kill because of it. Now he's fallen. Optic are scoring once again, and expect to see teams start setting up for both Railgun and Camouflage because they'll be spawning in about 30 seconds, Mike.
Optic Gaming looking to get control of Nest. That they do. Two players there. Snakebite's going to hang back as another player pushes in. Snakebite hangs back because he's going to look towards that basement to make sure no players can push. But look at that. Overwhelmed by 3 players from Splyce to take over the basement. They'll make a little switcheroo here, and Railgun camo up here in just a moment. Railgun pops. Let's see which player was able to get that. And then we also have that camo here in just a moment. Shotzi was able to get that Railgun. Let's see if he's going to use that to help him out. Shooter with the scatter shot. Almost seeing a ninja would have been devastating, but Splyce looks like they're going to be able to come out ahead here as 2 players go down on Splyce and 2 players go down on Optic Gaming.
There's so much control from Optic at the moment, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. They look completely different from what we've seen from Atlanta, but similar to what we've seen throughout fall season. They're not sending all 4 players to go for basement. If basement goes down, for example, they're splitting up. They're using 1 player as a bit of a distraction, and then sending the 3 remaining players just to sweep Splyce as soon as they turn their heads away from the priority.
Did you see that in the kill feed? Frosty back-to-back perfect kills, picking up the double kill. He is on point. I know in Atlanta, a lot of people were saying individually his shot was just not there. He was getting outskilled by Shotzi and Renegade and other players on Splyce, but now we're seeing him really step it up. So I want to stay on board with him for a little bit, see what he's going to be up to, but he's going to get taken down by 2 players. It's what it takes to take down a player like Frosty.
And Splyce already being, like, what, 38 points behind, they're going to struggle to get back into this one. They need to have a period of time that Optic had earlier as well, where they get total control, they get them on the spawn cycle, win a few team fights, and really get back into this game. Otherwise, they're going to slowly but surely fall behind if Optic are able to go back and forth, keep putting some points on the board. But this is a decent point now for Splyce. Optic has seemed to be quite sporadic, quite spread across the map, and big frags coming out from Frosty there. He's picked up a railgun.
And that was really weird. Optic had 2 players down and Splyce had all 4 alive, but Optic was able to get control of the basement. So definitely maybe some miscommunication there from Splyce and not maybe playing as aggressive, as they normally do, because when we see them get extremely aggressive, it looks like no team can kind of back them down at all. We're going to have Camouflage coming up here in 15 seconds, so this could be a big determining factor here if Optic Gaming wins this game type, or it brings Splyce back into the game.
Yeah, because both teams are quite aware of when Camouflage is coming up as well, because it's been quite back and forth with who's picking it up. Neither team has a significant advantage of the specific timing, so expect to see them both kind of clamber for it. It's possible they will get burnt in this situation. We'll see who's managed to pick it up. I think it was Snakebite actually found it, but he goes down straight away. So as you see, both teams knew exactly where their Camouflage was coming up. They make it redundant. They say, no, Camouflage isn't going to matter. Let's just keep controlling the game as we were.
Well, Splyce is creeping up, only down by 20 points now, but Frosty does have the railgun. You'll notice Royal 2 goes down. Frosty not able to get the railgun shot off. He'll get taken down by Renegade, and it looks like Splyce, they're going for the trip cap. They want to make this quick. They want to catch up just a bit faster, but Renegade not able to get it. He gets taken down by Royal 2, and this is not good. Royal 2 picks up a kill with the railgun that Renegade once had, and can we see Optic Gaming turn it around? Not yet. Splyce still somehow in control of 2 strongholds, even though you see so many of them drop.
it looked like a bit of a communication issue from Splyce. They had everything, it looked they were going for total control, but Renegade was looking the wrong way. Rather than having his scatter shot out and maybe looking at players contesting him in close range, he had his railgun out and he was worried about the long range. And in the end, it allows Optic Gaming once again to get control. A big perfect kill from Shotzzy to try and get this one back for Splyce. They are clawing it back slowly but surely. They were about 40 down, now it's only 15.
You know, that's honestly, I love watching these top players get in these 1v1 fights. Just nothing else, no interference, no grenades, just one-on-one, you turn the corner and you fight that pistol battle. Really gives a testament on how these players individually match up against each other. And Shotzzy, it just feels like so many times we see him come out on top individually. But back into the action, Frosty picking up a kill with Royal 2 taking down Renegade. And it looks like they may be able to get this trip cap, but they are about to lose the R base. He gets stuck by Boo Boo Dubu, a clutch stick as Boo Boo Dubu starts to push up.
Really big kill from Boo Boo Dubu as well. We need to see kills from Splyce. Railgun's just come up, Camouflage is coming up as well. This is a really important moment of the game. If Splyce can get a few points on the board, if they can get these strongholds, it's a great opportunity if they can get power weapons as well. But OG, they're just looking so good. Optic are getting kill after kill. That's total control as well, Mike. And that is going to be game one going in favor of the green wall.
Optic Gaming take game number one, looking incredibly well. A little bit different than what we saw at Atlanta versus Splyce. They're coming back. They've got that fire burning, and they are ready to go. Splyce, honestly, looking a little bit different than what we saw playing against Team Envyus. We saw the aggression, we saw the speed, the constant aggression just coming out and making it very hard for Team Envyus to even make a move. But let's take a look at the stats here. Take a look at the KDA. We've got 21 kills from Frosty. A big difference than what we've seen in the past. This player is definitely turning things around. You know, seeing two teams like this go toe-to-toe, when you see them just like bring out everything they've got, bring out all the stops, everything they've been working on, maybe certain things that they've been trying to hide from each other. Not streaming, Optic Gaming, not streaming a lot. Splyce, whether they're working on stuff, and maybe there's that perfect kill from Shotzzy as well, but certain things that you don't let other teams know, and you kind of pull out these, I guess, plays here at the tournament and see if you can kind of surprise your opponent.
And this team has been absolutely incredible throughout full season as well. Maybe a little bit disappointed with their performances. They would have liked to come into this tournament first seed, but Snakebite is one of the key reasons as why this tournament has been so, well, such a success so far. He's been playing absolutely flawlessly. You can see there his KD and his accuracy from full season. That second place Atlanta placing is not what Optic would have wanted, though. They're going to want to make up for that, and going 1-0 up in this series is exactly what they needed. I like what you touch upon about Frosty getting 21 kills there. I mean, he did have the third most kills throughout Pro League out of anyone, but he had the most assists in Pro League as well, Mike. He's been an absolute power for this team, and it shows that he can play both ways. He can even be that supporting man, or he can be the slaying man. Shout out for Halo Data Hive for all of their support as well, for helping make these statistics so simple and easy.
All right, well, let's take a look at the young gun Shotzzy here. He came up kind of out of the scene quite quickly, like other players like Hook, Renegade. Young guy, first place at Atlanta. I mean, what more can we say? I mean, he really just came out of nowhere, and he's the perfect example of there's talent out there that's untapped. There's untapped talent, whether it's found in free-for-all or through matchmaking or through online custom games. There's untapped talent that people don't know, and if you come out to a tournament, you could potentially prove yourself to maybe some of the other players and show up and like, hey, make a connection. You get picked up by a team, and you're at the next tournament, and you know what? You're placing in the top 8.
What really impressed me about Shotzzy at Atlanta specifically was his shot. His individual skill was second to none at that tournament, and from what I've seen from game one, it seems like Splyce are struggling a little bit with those individual battles. They were doing the right things, they were pushing the right areas. We saw Renegade soaring out a few times, getting some big kills with the battle rifle, but Optic Gaming were here, there, and everywhere. They were shutting down every sort of methodical movement from Splyce, and it was so difficult for Splyce to do anything in that game.
Well, especially with Optic Gaming getting 4 of the camos, 4 of the 5 camos, and then on top of that, getting 7 power weapon kills while Splyce was only able to get 3. I know that's something always to touch on. Power-ups, power weapons, definitely a big factor into every single one of these matches, and sometimes you will see a team pick up a lot of power weapon kills and maybe lose, but not something very often. talking about power weapons here, we've got the sniper rifle here. Slayer on Plaza, also a nice little power up as well. So we're going to see if players are going to be making their way right off the bat for that. But Royal 2 is going to opt to go for the battle rifle and make his way over towards down low towards the tunnel. Going to see if he's going to get some eyes here. There is a player down low, but he's playing a little bit cautious. He knows that it could be a bit risky to make his way down the bottom bit.
What a perfect player to start with as well. The man who had the most kills in Pro League season. He had 385 throughout the season, Mike. Absolutely incredible stuff for him, and they've got a nice early lead as well. Pro League statistics would suggest this is actually a favorite for Splyce. They're unbeaten at the moment. We've only seen Optic once so far in Pro League in this game type, and they lost it. But I feel like this is going to be a tight one.
Frosty gets trapped down at bottom lift, and Splice punishes him for that. And Boo now has control of the sniper rifle. He is in the attic here, over above Sniper, able to pick up a grenade kill. That barrel is still up as well, so you're going to have to be careful of that. Surprised that he's not shooting it right as I say it. He does shoot it, so that's not going to be anything to worry about later on. Checking his 6 here to make sure nobody's behind him, but his team's got pretty good setup right now. As a player pushes down the bottom mid, that's going to be Snakebite as he goes down, but Boo exposes himself and can't get behind the cover, and he loses that sniper.
Yeah, Boo just pushed out a little bit too far there, or maybe would have liked to see a little bit more patience. But when you're confident in your shot, sometimes you do make those decisions thinking you can win those kind of battles. But now Optic are in a little bit of a sticky situation where they want to try and push through Cafe, but Lethal letting them know that they are behind them with a few shots into the backside. And actually, they're rewarded with a couple of kills here. Shooter should be able to take him down. Thankfully, Lethal is, otherwise that would have been very embarrassing for him.
Well, Shooter's going to take it slow and opt to hang back just a little bit. Playing a little bit slower, but not to worry, because actually he does got to worry there, but that Snakebite coming for him. Boo with the sniper again, and on top of that, we do have Overshield coming up in 20 seconds. So you'll see Boo has some sight lines here around top mid. He's watching Flowers pushing to top mid, and he has eyes over at top yellow, but he did forget about posters. It looks like there was a player fighting over there. Wasn't able to get eyes on that as he turned around. There were 2 players pushing, and now he's trying to escape. Hits the body shot, hits the headshot, taking down Royal 2. Goes for the double, gets the body shot, but not able to finish it off. And Overshield, I believe, is just sitting up right now. Yeah,
I like what I saw from Optic as well. They noticed that Boo had the sniper. They forced him into an unorthodox position, and now they're rewarded by taking him down as well. And look at that, it's a juicy green power-up to pick up as the big reward. Snakebite grabs that. 13 to 11 up now, and now they can push, they can get aggressive. Not only have they got this extra shield to push with, but look at this swarm. They know there are a couple of players just stuck here in yard, and that's why they're pushing in.
That was a really late overshield. I believe that was like 28, 29 seconds. That sat up for a good 20, 25 seconds. So it's interesting to see both teams kind of just leave that out as bait, hoping the other team goes for it so they can pick up a kill. Snakebite, he'll get the melee on shots as they both kind of get tangled up here in the flowers. Looking to pick up another kill. Hits the headshot on Renegade as well. Down to 1 shot, but he's going to get his shields back. Finds another player trying to escape Boo, and that's some great communication. Look at this. Snakebite running around this map like it's his home. He just knows every route that is clear, where these players are, and he is just non-stop moving around the map.
Yeah, and I really like this from Optic Gaming. They've been able to push around. They noticed that the sniper was coming up again, so they've tried to swarm. They've tried to get behind the sniper rifle. Don't give them any easy sight lines, but Splyce, they've managed to recover. They've managed to pull this sniper back, and now Shotzian is in a position where he can start doing some real damage with this fight. He's got support from his teammates. He's got them in a decent radius in case he does get challenged, so I'm liking this. They're keeping this close.
All right, well, with Shotzi holding the sniper back, let's check in with the squad and hear what their comms are like. Let's jump into an Astro Listen In with Splice.
I can put and then blue on it. 28 away. Drive by. Yo, mark it. I'm one shot. I want 28 guys. 10 seconds. Mark your weak. One shot Prius. Yeah, benches. Benches. 28 away. 2 glasses. 28 away. I'm going. I burned it. Watch out. Glass. I burned it like 26. Mark it. Watch out, guys. Yeah, I was last time. Mark it, wait. Mark it. Stay alive. Game number 20. It's on blue. That's far. You guys are two.
Make sure we stay alive. Everybody slow down and stay alive.
Upside. Yeah, weak upside, wait.
Made it a 4. I'm looking at benches.
One step in yard. Wait, what you? Top yellow.
Ready, top yellow.
And
Go
one's in
glass
yard.
sniping. Still.
Yeah. And flowers.
Fires, challenging me. One shot.
All right, there you heard it. Splyce falling behind, though, and Optic Gaming getting a bit of a lead here by 7 kills. Boo trying to stay alive, but it looks like Optic Gaming, they are just working as a unit. You see 2 or 3 of them really just kind of wolf pack together as they make their move. And on top of that, Snakebite has the sniper rifle over here in yard.
Yeah, he has the sniper rifle, but the next sniper rifle is coming up in about 20 seconds. You can see on your screen there. So expect Optic to be well aware that they need to position themselves to make sure Splyce can't get that easily, and then start putting some kills on the board for themselves. As Snakebite's trying to hit anything but big kills coming out from Boo Doo. They pushed the sniper, they've been rewarded. Now they can get eyes on that new sniper rifle as well. Try and get some more ammo. Big shots from Renegade.
Renegade definitely getting that last shot for the worth that it was. Snakebite was trying to get rid of all that ammo, wasn't able to get rid of that last shot, and it goes to show you want to try and get all that ammo out so Renegade does not have anything to work with. But the sniper is going to be in the hands of Lethal right now as Renegade is trying to find the player, but he's not going to be able to. He's going to have to back down. Splyce has brought this back just a little bit, only down by 4, and Lethal trying to watch this bottom middle flank.
And overshield's coming up in about 5 seconds. You said it was a late overshield, and look at it, it's 25 it's actually popping, Mike. So that was a really late one. I think it might have been burnt there by Splyce, but Optic did pick up 3 big kills, and they still have a massive lead of 6. It's so difficult on Plaza to get a lead like this back when you're playing against a team like Optic Gaming that really control the map so successfully.
All right, let's jump into observer mode and see where the players on Splyce are going to be. They're going to be the ones with blue outlines. You'll see the players in red. That's going to be Optic Gaming as Lethal's making a push. And look at this. Optic Gaming just swarms in and just infiltrates the yard, wipes everybody out on Splyce. They're spawning up over by the cafe now, and you've got Optic already putting some more pressure over there, and you've got Lethal watching every single escape route there, every doorway, every window, making it known that there's pretty much no opportunity to make that push out. Finds a player that does opt to push out and go down to bottom mid. But look at this. Lethal doesn't want to risk giving Splyce any ammo, so he's just firing shots at random. I believe there is going to be 1 or 2 shots left in that, though.
Well, it's essentially doing the same thing as like throwing it off the map, right? You don't want to give them too many shots. You make sure you fire as many bullets as you can, but Snakebite comes in and he stops Shotzzy from being able to pull away with that sniper rifle as well. But now, 8 kill difference. Optic still controlling. They're still swarming. Every time they smell a little bit of blood, when they sense that Splyce maybe they're out of position, there's just 2 players there, they just absolutely pincer them. It's incredible to see this team move. If you want to know how to rotate around a map, just watch this again, because Optic has been flawless so far.
Well, if you're an Optic Gaming fan, you're feeling pretty good right now, as it looks like Optic Gaming is going to go up 2-0 in the series. You definitely see Optic Gaming making sure that Splyce has no opportunity to get a sniper, because they know players like Renegade and Shotzzy that if they get a hold of the sniper, they are going to put it to use. They don't want to risk it at all. They would rather the sniper not even be on the map, so they're just making sure that ammo is just nowhere to be found. But Frosty laying down some shots here up at top yellow to keep those players pushed at yard. And look at this. You've got another push happening. Optic Gaming seem to have the aggression back. Overshield is up, but they're not even going for it. They're going to bait it. As this player makes the push, that's Renegade. It gets burned. A perfect bait by Royal 2.
And they don't need to get the overshield. That's why, right? They already have this 10-kill lead, so they can happily sit back. It's a guaranteed kill as long as you have enough players watching that overshield. Yes, okay, it's burnt, but you are already in a position where you're going to win this game. You could trade 2-1 at this point. It really doesn't matter. Optic have got this in the bag unless they do something drastically wrong or suddenly Splyce goes Super Saiyan.
Well, Optic Gaming seem to be very composed here and very relaxed just by looking at them in the webcams there. And then also, in the next game, let's hop into a listen in. But, I mean, Optic Gaming really coming in strong. They want to show that they are the better team. It's 49-40. Royal 2 with the sniper hits the headshot. And that's going to be it for game number 2. Optic Gaming lead the series. Splyce without a game win yet.
And you don't need the overshield to win that game, is the big take I took from that one. Optic, they only picked up 2 of them. We saw 3 picked up by Splyce, but 2 of them were burnt. Optic were so well positioned, they made them burn it every time. It was a guaranteed kill. Sometimes they got 2 or 3 just from 3 players from Splyce, constantly bum rushing that overshield, making sure they tried to pick it up, but they were just met by grenades, bullets flying everywhere, brains were scattered across top middle, Mike, and Optic a 2-0 up.
That's gruesome. That sounds very gruesome. Well, let's take a look at the stats. Frosty, 18 assists. I mean, that one of these numbers stands out amongst the rest, and it is that one, 18 assists. But on top of that, Snakebite and Royal 2, throwing down some big numbers here in the kill department, 17 and 16. So many assists coming from Optic Gaming, and this is a new life that we're seeing from Optic Gaming again. This is like the Halo World Championship 2017 champions, Optic Gaming, that we're seeing.
And we've just seen both sides of Frosty as well. I was mentioning how he had the 3rd most kills, but the most assists in Pro League throughout regular season, and that's exactly why. 18, he was just sitting back, raining down shots from every single angle. One thing I love about watching Frosty is the angles that he does take, the positions he puts himself in. He always finds these spots on maps that people don't expect him to be in. He is so unpredictable as a player to play against, and that's why Optic are dominating this series so far. But game 3, Mike, is going to be Fathom Capture the Flag.
That could be a long one. It could be a long one. They could be battling up against each other, and we could see an overtime. But, you know, let's talk about Frosty here. Frosty's kind of like, he's the quiet guy on the team. Very, very quiet. You don't hear too much from him. And he's kind of like the unsung hero sometimes when it comes to this squad. Doesn't really get too much recognition sometimes, but in just watching Halo for so many years and watching him and like Shotzzy, you notice something different about these two and how they stand out amongst the rest, and just with their movement, with their shot and how smooth it is. And that's why it was surprising to me when we looked at Atlanta, seeing him play the way he did. But now we're seeing Frosty, he's back.
He is back, and as I said, most assists, 3rd most kills. He has the most damage as well in regular season. He just pumps bullets into everything that he sees. He's like a machine, but we need to see something from Splyce. We need to see them wake up a little bit. Where's Renegade at the moment? Where is the Renegade that we saw in Atlanta? That young man who was absolutely dominating the field. I want to see him turn up in a game. It's going to be Fathom Capture the Flag as the next map, so I want to see him getting that top middle control, raining down shots on everyone, getting those big kills, winning those individual fights that we know he can. But unfortunately for Splyce, they are going to be going up against an undefeated Optic Gaming on this map throughout regular season. We saw them 3 times across the season, and they won it every single one, Mike.
Well, you're looking at Renegade, and a lot of players have said they think he's kind of the new rising star, and he could potentially be the best player in Halo 5 right now. You have some people saying that. Obviously, Optic Gaming is coming back, a lot of fans behind them, and a lot of you can't say that Optic Gaming or any of those players are still not at the top of their game, and they're easily all still in the top 5, top 6 players without a doubt. But you look at players like Shotzzy and Renegade, I mean, those names are getting dropped now. You talk about who do you think the best player in Halo 5 is? You're hearing Shotzies, you're hearing Renegades being brought up, which is interesting because it used to be just pretty much every player on Optic Gaming, maybe throwing a pistola or snipe down, hook. But outside of that, you really didn't have too many names being thrown around.
Well, game 3 then is going to be Capture the Flag on Fathom, and we need to see Splyce wake up. Otherwise, this could be a very quick winners bracket finals. Potentially, it could be a 4-0 if they don't win this one, because they go down 3-0 and then they move on to a game type that perhaps they wouldn't be comfortable with. But we're going to kick things off with Boobadooboo, just making sure he has eyes on that camouflage.
He's got the tac mag as well in his back pocket. Nice weapon to have as you get a little bit better range there, and you're not going to show up on the radar shooting that as well. So Boobadooboo's pushing up with the light rifle. 2 players are going to fall from his team though, so he's got to play careful here. He doesn't want to push up.
And I think it's actually Royal 2 that we're on board with rather than Boobadooboo. So I think, yeah, this is an Optic player, and he's making sure he's pushing around, trying to get as much support for his teammates here. And Optic being very slow, being very methodical. They don't want to push in instantly. They don't want to give it away any silly deaths. Just as I say that, they try and swarm in, and Shotzzy gets a nice big kill with that railgun.
All right, let's check on in with Renegade as that flag is moving and it is past the 50-yard line, but Optic Gaming, they are making a move with the flag as well. Renegade trying to jump up to top mid, misses the first jump. He'll get that second one in a perfect time as well to take down Frosty. The flag is still alive. Looks like they're just baiting it. No reason to grab it yet because there are still Optic players around their base. Renegade checking to see if that flag runner is going through the treehouse. Might have opted to go beneath the treehouse. We'll get the player down to one shot. Shooter finishes him off. And look at this, Splice. All 4 players pushing back, and they've spotted the flag.
This is exactly what I wanted to see from Renegade, though. I wanted to see him top mid, but he was waiting for something to happen. And then as soon as he tried to make a move, he was shut down immediately, and this flag is being run by Optic Gaming. They've got the return as well. We need to see a big return from Splyce, but there's no one in position. It should be an easy capture. He gets stuck in the window. Can anyone else help him out? Lethal's there to do some real damage, but here comes the soaring members of Splyce to try and get a return. Frosty's going to be the one who picks it up, though.
It gets stuck again in the same spot. Splyce is doing everything they can. Look at this, Snakebite goes down. Are they able to get the return? Lethal is here. He's just flying in. 2 players here. He's able to have Royal 2 take that one down. Not able. Wait, was he able to get that touch? I believe maybe he was able to. And that flag, I believe, is still alive. And you're gonna have Splyce finally make the return. What a series of triple kill! Shotzzy with the triple kill. The flag is going through bottom middle. My God, Splyce have not given up.
Absolutely incredible stuff from Splyce, and they're rewarded with a capture as well. It was so close for Optic, but they just couldn't get it through that window. That Splyce member was soaring left, right, and center, and Renegade has control of top middle as well. Optic, they need to calm this down. They need to return. They need to respond from this craziness that Splyce have started with.
Well, Renegade doesn't seem like he wants it to stop, picking up the double kill. Looking for another, still has some camo. Gonna back down and stay alive. But he's able to find a battle rifle here down at bottom mid. He's gonna get spotted though. A player hiding right to his left. Royal 2 will melee him to take him down. On the other side, Royal 2 still getting kills. Picks up a double kill and looking to get into the base, but hello, Renegade off the spawn. He's gonna give him the good old back whack right there. And now Renegade getting some shots across the map, but Gasket, this is crazy right now. It looked like Splyce was getting ready to opt to go for that second flag cap, but Optic picked up the heat and picked up a few more kills.
They definitely have, and I was speaking before the game saying how this is a really good game type for Optic, but it was a pretty good one for Splyce as well throughout regular season. They went 3-2, so at least they were positive with their win rate, about 60% win rate that will be, and they have pretty good control of this map. They've been very speedy, very aggressive. Every time Optic try and set up top middle, we see Splyce flying around, flanking, making sure it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable game right now for Optic Gaming. They seem to be hesitant to push round. They don't know whether they should be going silo, whether they should be going treehouse. They just look a little bit indecisive right now.
Royal 2 definitely doesn't want to push out because he notices his teammates are dying. Wants to pick up a kill or 2 before they make that push. Nades are going to come in and back him down, and he's going to have a teammate fall as well to the left side of his base, but Railgun is going to be up, and that's going to go into the hands of Shotzzy. So we'll see if Shotzzy's going to be able to do anything with this as he is taking his time. Knows the player is kind of creeping around here, so playing a bit sneaky. And look at this, you've got all 4 players of Splyce past the 50-yard line. Look at this, that's some teamwork. That camo's up, and you're gonna let him get that camo. No reason for any other player on Splyce to get it other than your Railgun player.
Yeah, really important. It was a late camouflage as well. Both teams kind of ignored it for about 5 seconds, maybe even 10. They clearly didn't see it as a priority, but this flag is moving, but Shotzzy is in a decent position to stop it here. He needs to do a lot of work, doesn't want to get caught out. Could actually potentially go for the return if he's really wanted to go for a risk, but finds a big frag. Might even look for the triple here, which would be massive. Unfortunately, doesn't connect with it though.
He will get double backed on, and that player will get some shots and make him appear, and that will be Shotzzy and Boo Boo Doo going down to the likes of Lethal. Lethal pushing out of the base, does not want to get stuck back in your base. That's the last thing you want to happen, and Lethal spots a player here in the treehouse. Nice shots from him, taking down Shotzzy again for the second time on this push, and he does have 2 teammates. That's going to be Royal 2 and I believe Snakebite pushing into the base, trying to get that flag out right now. But You're going to see 2 players go down, and that's going to stop that push.
Well, Splyce are in the advantageous position, right? They're 1-0 up. They can sit back. They can be a little defensive for a little bit. They can make Optic overcommit for a flag, and then that's when they can really push for the control. Maybe go for a counter cap, and that's potentially how they can go 2-0 up here. But you can see Splyce, they're pushing out in 2s. Unfortunately, Shooter was caught out, but there's Boobadooboo's grenades to finish him off. You've got to make sure you've got a teammate to help support you there.
All right, well, Camouflage is coming up in 30 seconds, and let's check in with the comms for Optic Gaming. Let's jump into an Astro Listen In with Optic Gaming.
Brad, stay alive, Brad. I will. One hit their elbow. Push up, Brad, keep going. I got it. Okay. You're gonna spawn silo, Boo Boo? Another silo, Boo Boo. Can we get touch? Red pit. Where's red pit? Top mid. On top mid. On top mid. In our tree. One shot the court. Camo. Guys. I'm gonna die. Camo's off. Rail's off, man. Camo, Boo Boo. He's their bridge. One hit. Renegade. Nice. Got him. Our bridge weak, Renegade. There's 2 on range. Go for touch. Yeah, go. They're dodge. Alright, I'm not gonna be able to get touched. Keep up those pushes. Their tree bridge. They know where I am. I'm gonna die. Their tree bridge weak. There's 2 here. They know I'm here. You guys push elbow together? Yeah. One hit. TJ, if you can get that kill, just stay alive. Boost one. Nice shot. I'm nading silo. Here, silo. Top mid, guys. Tree bridge. Their elbow. 2-shot shooter. Nice kill. Where's the other one? He's on our bridge. Yep. Got shot though. One hit their corners. To the garage. Yep. One hit their tree. Our tree. Yeah, 2 their tree, 1 on tree now. 2 their tree, 1 on tree. Looking for the guy on our tree. Is our tree going our bridge? Their elbow. Their bridge. One tree. They're caught in their flag. That might be shot on their flag. He's on top of it. On their alarm. They're jump up. 2 top shots. One hit in rail. Yeah, there's a guy silo on me. Brad, can you get the map? Yeah, look at our tree right now. Our court. Shotsy's one hit or smaller. He's dead. Right, Teej, watch my name. Two dead. Brad, go for full. Their tree. I'm gonna jump up behind him. You know where he is? No. He's gonna go. He's a big door. Yeah, they're big. Yep. They're Slay. Just Slay. One shot their wall. Got one. Another on the court. Last two court. Oh, he's in real. Last guy. Real, guys. Yeah. That's real.
Optic Gaming rallying the flag back right now as the railgun dropped on top of that. And it looks like Lethal's going to be home free as he caps flag number 1 for Optic Gaming. Tying the game up. Railgun picked up by Splyce. That's going to be Shotzzy. He'll go down and make a trade with Frosty. But something to note on those callouts in the game, you heard Optic Gaming constantly say, keep up those pushes.
Active camouflage is coming up as well, Mike, so we expect to see people pushing top mid to try and contest this. What do I love about Optic Gaming right now is they didn't panic. They had that whole situation with their first flag where they were all jumping in, everything was a little bit messy, but they slowed it down, they got a little bit more methodical, and now I think Lethal has been rewarded with the camouflage as well because of this. This is getting a lot better progressively as we get through this game. Optic look like they are in real control here.
Lethal top mid, perfect spot to be right now to get some lines of sight across the map, as it looks like Optic Gaming might make their push for this final flag here as they take 2 players down. But hello, Renegade again coming out of nowhere. He's going to get the melee from behind on Lethal as well. Snakebite making a move here at top middle, getting some control where Lethal just once had. So Optic Gaming constantly keeping up the pushes, keeping up the aggression. You heard them time and time again say they have to keep that going. So you know they're really focused on Splyce keeping their aggression up, and they have to match it or go even further and have better aggression than them.
I mean, the slays are pretty even. I think we're looking at 64 kills for Splyce just to the 62 of Optic. So it's fairly close in terms of the slaying ability, but it just seems like Optic have been setting up a little bit better. But just as I say that, Splyce have got a little bit of control. They've got Optic on the spawn now, so they're going to be looking, where are they going to be spawning? Where can we throw grenades? Where can we really put some damage in, sink our teeth into this team, and get them on another spawn cycle so we can get this flag going? It looks like they've spawned Engine. There's a few players being a nuisance in there, and that's 2 members that have fallen from Splyce already. The other 2 might be able to clean up, might be able to pull a flag here.
Well, Boobadooboo trying to help out his teammate as 2 players are pushing into the base. They're all able to take down Lethal, and look at this, Dipsy doodling around the corner. He's able to stay alive. Boobadooboo running the flag. If he can stay alive, not able to, the flag is down. But no matter, Shooter is right there to clean it up and keep going. There's going to be 2 down for Optic Gaming. Looks like Splyce might be able to keep this flag going. Shotzzy with the railgun. Nice protection, but look at this. Optic Gaming are somehow still just stopping this flag.
And we've got camouflage coming up in about 4 seconds as well, so people might be distracted by this flag being moved. You've got to be listening to the coaches in this point who are going to be saying, someone get up top, and it looks like it's Optic that have really taken the initiative there. They said, yes, okay, our flag's out, but let's move, let's get this camouflage, because it might help us get a return here, Mike.
Look at the mind games here. Boo Doo did not want to push out because he knows that flag is being baited. He did not want to make a move. He knows what happened earlier when they were playing earlier on the map. But look at this. They are able to get that flag back towards the base, but there's 2 down from Splyce, 2 down from Optic. These next few kills are going to determine this. Royal 2 still staying alive. Splyce are just zipping around everywhere, and that flag is about halfway. Renegade may need to get a touch. Is he able to? He's not. Yes, he is actually. That flag is on the flag stand, and Optic Gaming get a touch. What is going on?
Both teams are trying to pull this flag. It keeps getting stuck in the window, but it seems like Optic have come out on top. They've got the control of it. I think they may have got a return there as well. So now Optic are trying to pull this, and we're going to get back to a standoff with 30 seconds remaining. Splyce also returned this one. So all of that action, all of that messiness, and it just goes back to a stalemate here, Mike. Splyce was so close there, but I've got to give credit to Royal 2. He had that camouflage, and he was so patient. He could have dropped down, he could have picked up the flag, but instead he stayed top middle, he got grenades out, and he finished off those Splyce boys that were trying to run the flag.
Shooter just doubled back there on Lethal, and look at this. You've got Shotzzy running. He just needs to get behind some cover, and he does. He makes it behind cover, somehow still alive, evading grenades. Another grenade comes in. He doesn't die from it. We're in overtime, so this cap will not end the game. They have to get 3 caps. Oh. He jumps over the flag. Is he going to get it? There's a player in the base. What is going on? Is he going to get it? No. All 4 players down from Splyce. Optic Gaming get the return, get the double kill, and they are running the flag back. Lethal all the way back to the base, untouched by anyone, and Optic Gaming made the impossible happen. They're up 2-1.
This is the perfect time for the phrase, Holy Mother of Halo. What a choke there from Splyce. All they needed to do was push it in, and now another flag is being run by Optic Gaming. What a turnaround. Splyce were looking like they were so comfortable. They would put that in, they would go 2-1 up in this overtime, and it has been absolutely flipped on its head, and now Splyce, they need to respond.
It's been reversed.
What a perfect way to do so.
3
with
down.
3 big frags.
3 down for Optic Gaming. Frosty, he's the only one alive. That's all 4 down. All 4 down for Optic Gaming. Splyce are pushing up. They tie it up. We've got 2 minutes left, and we're all tied up here. 2 of the greatest Halo 5 teams battling up against each other right here. This is just proving why they are so good, battling down to the wire.
Credit to Splyce. They could have absolutely fallen to tatters after that. As soon as you choke a big moment like that and you go 2-1 down and you see a 3rd flag being pulled, you could just start shouting at your teammates. You start worrying a little bit. It all goes into your head, but instead they turned around, they picked up 3 absolutely massive kills. They get a flag of their own, and now we're back to a 2-2 stalemate. We can finally breathe again. Everything's slowing down a little bit, but certainly heart rates are going to be increasing on both of these teams.
Not just on these teams, my heart rate is increasing right here because I can't believe what we're watching right now. We got 1 minute 15 seconds left. Looks like Optic Gaming is making their push, but Frosty's gonna go down. Lethal will pick up that kill, but he's all by himself. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He gets taken down, so that push is not gonna happen. Optic Gaming still on their side of the map as Splicers on theirs, trying to get to that 50-yard line and get some type of control, but this doesn't look good. Splyce are trapped in their base. That's 2 players. As they're weak, Snakebite pushes in, gets some first initial shots there. Nades come out, but he's able to get his shields back.
And this is where we learn a lot about teams as well. 42 seconds. Do you defend? Do you go for the replay? Or do you have some cojones? And do you push in and try and pull this flag and try and win this game here and now? You don't want to go for another 12 minutes. You don't want to go for another 15. OG, Optic Gaming, they're pushing in. They're getting these big kills. They want to win this now.
Snakebite somehow still alive, but Splyce members alive as well. It looks like Splyce are opting to go for the full reset here as Frosty goes down. That's 18 seconds left in the game. Snakebite trying to stay alive. They're still able to get this flag run, but look at this. Splyce, they're going for the run. There's 10 seconds left. He's at bottom mid. Boo Boo Doo Boo gets it across the 50-yard line. Renegade rallying it, tossing it across the...
5 seconds
Are you serious? No way! Splyce cap! Flag number 3. What just happened? Gaskin, did you see something? I had no clue. We were talking about were they going to play defense or what they were going to do. And look at this Splyce. It looks like they even need to just take a break after that because What an insane game of Halo we just witnessed.
Splyce went for the Hail Mary. They said, okay, we're going to back off. We're going to send one person, flank it around. We're not going to lose this game. There's not enough time for them to get a flag. But if we pull it, we might even get it across. They got it through bottom middle, and they trained it in. Optic was so surprised. They didn't know what on earth just happened in front of their eyes. What an incredible, probably my favorite Fathom capture the flag game I have ever witnessed. And now Splyce bring one back in this series. We're at a 2-1 advantage for Optic Gaming. Wow, Mike.
Wow, my heart rate. Let's take a look at these stats. 35 kills from Shotzi, 31 kills from Shooter, 103 kills total from the other side, 103 kills total for Splyce, 91 kills for Optic Gaming. A lot of stuff was happening. Boo Boo Doo Boo with 29 assists. Let's take a look at the shots hit. Wow. And this flag, I mean, so many moments, so many memorable moments here. At the beginning, when Optic, the flag got stopped 2 times right in that window, and it looked like they weren't going to be able to get it. Just back and forth, and you could see the openings, and when those pushes were happening from both teams, you knew it was starting to get a little bit risky, and you had Snakebite hanging back at the base. And we were saying, it looks like Splyce is just going to play defense here. It looks like they're going to hang back, and then you even see Snakebite look back at his base, and he's like, oh, crap.
Just one sneaky beaver. That's all you need. One sneaky beaver to just flip round, grab that flag. He died bottom middle, but all of Splyce, they had a game plan. I would have loved to hear the communication from that team, love to hear what the coach is saying, because someone clearly made a call. We are going to sit back, we're going to defend, we're going to turtle, we're going to distract. And you, my son, you're grabbing that flag, and this is your moment. We're going for that Hail Mary play. And to be honest, from the entirety of the game, I think both teams need to probably go to juggle lessons, because there was a lot of fumbles that were happening with that flag.
Well, I mean, the passes there at the end to get that flag cap, I mean,
that made up for all of the
It did
bad
make up
stuff.
for all of it. It was a true Hail Mary. You ever played NFL Blitz? You got the Hail Mary or the bomb play?
Oh, yeah, you have to go for it.
That is what that play was. You're just throwing it up, hoping your teammate catches it, and it happened.
Well, we had a similar situation yesterday. I can't remember the game, but I think it was T2 and Mark were casting it, and they were saying, oh, why did someone pull the flag with 12 seconds to go? They didn't need to, and T2 was saying, well, they couldn't lose at that point, so why not try and get that flag out?
Right. So it does look like we have a package here with Lethal, and actually I had a moment to talk with him, so let's take a look at that. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Strongside here with Lethal from Optic Gaming. We're here at DreamHack Denver, gearing up here on Saturday. Still one more day to go tomorrow, but you still have a tough match leading up here. Tell me a little about coming into this event and your guys' practice regimen. You guys weren't streaming too much. Everyone's kind of been in the dark a little bit.
I mean, people probably think there's something else going on with like the whole no streaming thing. I've seen a couple conspiracy theories. You know, they were all terrible and wrong, but to be honest, it's just been the same thing. We've still been scrimming the exact same amount every night. We just kind of, I don't know. I can't speak for my teammates, but I just got back from Atlanta, and I was planning on just taking like a week to myself. Frosty came over to my place for a few days, and then, you know, a week or two break from streaming turned into I'm never streaming again. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll be back, but same old for us. We scrimmed every day. Just we weren't streaming it, so.
All right, well, let's talk about kind of the events leading up to Denver. So Splyce won Atlanta, Team Envyus won Daytona, Team Envyus went undefeated in Pro League. What do you think's like going on with your guys' squad? You guys, obviously you're still a great team. You haven't placed out of the top 2 in Halo 5. But like, what do you think is going wrong? What do you think is happening to make you guys get second and not able to be able to bring home the W here?
I don't think it's really anything that serious. I think it's definitely over-exaggerated, but at the same time, just because we're expected to win everything, no winning, like even not winning one thing is a big deal. But Daytona, you know, the finals went to Game 7 in both of the series. It was really close. You know, PJ was deathly sick, but we've never used that as an excuse, and I'm not using it now. You know, it's just, that event was just whatever. Atlanta, I think we'll all just say this every time it's brought up. Splyce was playing like the best. That's the best the team's ever played against us. I mean, and that's probably the best team's ever played against me, too.
Let's say you guys win winners semis, you win winners finals, and you make it to the grand finals. What team do you want to be playing when you're in the grand finals?
whichever team doesn't give us a third, second place. But I mean, I'd like to see Liquid get top 2 again. You know, they got second, first 2 events of this year, and then they got third at Worlds, and they got back-to-back fourths. Or no, they got third at Daytona and then fourth at Atlanta. So I'd like to see them get into another finals, but you know, I'd like, if possible, to play like Splyce in the winners finals and then Envy in the finals, and you know, if in this scenario we play Liquid in the semis, so that way we play them all. But nothing I ever want will happen, so it probably won't work that way.
Yeah, definitely. Probably want a little bit of revenge in beating both those teams. But all right, well, best of luck in the tournament, man. I'm sure we're going to see a lot from your squad. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Strong Side.
Thanks for the pass. Thanks for the pass. But you heard him talk about he wants to play Splyce in the winners finals and then Team Envyus in the grand finals. Right now, Optic Gaming is leading the series, so there is the potential. But after watching that last game, it's got to put a little bit of a damper on Optic Gaming's play there. It's a tough loss.
I mean, that is the biggest momentum shift that you could possibly want if you're a Splyce fan. I was saying they needed to win it. Of course, everyone knew they needed to win it. And now they go into Empire Strongholds, one of their best game types from regular season, with a ball of confidence behind them. There was so much energy, so much testosterone that was probably flowing through them at that point that they had to get up. They had to take a break, because otherwise they would have been shaking far too much. The amount of adrenaline.
Your heart had to have been pumping fast.
Yeah, it fell out of my chest almost, Mike. So God knows what it would be like for these players. But here we are then, game number 4.
Game number 4, and this is going to be another fast, very quick game type. A lot of aggression here on Strongholds on Empire. You've got the overshield outside. You're going to be seeing players battle around that bottom middle stronghold. So right off the bat, we're seeing Boo Boo Doo make his way over towards that camo. But a lot of teams put a bit more focus towards that OS, and Boo Boo Doo, he's going to get stopped by 2 players over there. Picks up the camo to burn it, but on the other side, 2 more Optic players. Look at this. They're able to get that OS, but it will be burned. So both power-ups burned.
That's a sign of 2 evenly contested teams as well. If both the power-ups are burned, their starting strategies are very similar. They're sending that one person towards the camouflage. The rest are going to battle for the OV. But it looks like Splyce are going to be winning the open frags here and might be able to get the pit. The pit is, of course, what you want to be aiming for first, because it is such a pain in the backside to try and get back once you lose it.
Well, there they have it. They're able to get control and get some points on the board. Lethal finds a player making his way over to red treehouse. He's going to be able to stop him. Going for the double. Gets him down to 1 shot. Some nades. That nade's going to go the opposite way after hitting that dead body. But Lethal trying to get some control, and he's able to. Does have a teammate swing by as well, and able to make that capture just a little bit faster. And nice little move from him as well. Realized no need to push in. We've got control of this stronghold. I'm just going to opt to to thrust back and keep myself safe.
And this is the main difference I've seen between North American teams and European teams when it comes to strongholds. Look how quickly Optic Gaming reacted to the pit being taken away. It was only 6 points Splyce had got before they took the initiative, they got top middle, and they pushed. A lot of European teams, they wait, they try and collaborate and listen, and then they try and get that momentum pushing through. But the American teams are just so quick to react to every single thing that happens on the map, and Optic are a perfect display of this.
Well, that's going to be 3 down for Splyce as Optic Gaming get the trip cap. Looking good for them. They are losing that bottom middle stronghold, but look at that. They don't really need to put too much focus towards that, because they know that they don't have to just immediately rush to that, because there's so many eyes on bottom middle, and Optic Gaming was spread out all over the map, and they're constantly pushing. That's another 3 down for Splyce.
And 3 down is a bad time to be losing members, because Overshield's coming up, Camouflage is coming up. Camouflage should be spawning any time this second. Overshield was about 10 seconds afterwards. So there's the first one. Now expect the rest of Optic to be on the other side of the map to pick up the Overshield as well. They have total control, and they have a few of these power-ups, so this should be a really good situation.
All right, Royal 2 with the camo and still holding this trip cap. Let's jump into observer mode real quick to see where these players are at. We got Splyce making their push over to red base. Royal 2 just trying to stay alive, and he's just dipsy doodling all over this place, as that's going to be 2 down for Splyce. 1 more down, and look at that move. Royal 2 not pushing in, letting Frosty finish the kill. And Optic Gaming, look at this. They are going back and forth from red base to blue base. just back, they're like a seesaw. They finish everybody over at red base, and they're right back over to blue to take down Splyce again.
I'd like to remind you, this is one of Splyce's best game types throughout regular season, and at the moment they are being made a mockery of by this Optic Gaming squad. Optic are clearly angry after that previous game, and I love the way they're setting up on this map. We saw the overshield got burnt once again by Splyce, similarly to what we saw on Plaza Slayer earlier. Optic just setting up around that overshield, saying, hey, you can come grab it, we'll just get a free, easy kill when you burn it.
We have been on board with Royal 2 for, it's got to be at least a minute now. This man has not died, and you just see Splyce member after Splyce member falling. And look, Optic Gaming just taking it slow. Yeah, they lost the base over there, but they're changing it up. They're not going to put on tons of pressure. They're going to have a delayed push, and look how it's working for them. They're taking down 2, about to take down that 3rd player as well as 3 players are here in red base to get this capture.
And look how long Shotzi survived there. That actually goes into the favor of Optic because now Shotzi's going to be on spawn for quite a while. Optic can move to the opposite base and they have that man advantage once again. Splyce just keep getting caught on spawn. They're really struggling. They need to try and push out. They need to get this new overshield that's coming up, this new camouflage that's coming up in about 15 seconds if they want any chance of winning this game, Mike. But it's going to be such a long and windy road if they're going to get anywhere close because Optic are dominating the field.
Absolute domination, right you are, Gaskin. Optic Gaming picking up another camo, another power-up, just getting so much control, but the overshield does go into the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo, but that will get burned, unfortunately. Splyce was looking for something to kind of bring them back into the game, but it just looks like constantly the trades that are happening, you're seeing a 1-2 trade in favor of Optic Gaming, sometimes even the 1-3 trade, or no player from Optic Gaming even dying at all. The Slays right now are in favor. 39 total kills for Optic Gaming and 25 for Splyce.
Just a casual triple kill as well for Frosty there as he just cleans up everyone that's trying to run into this pit. Splyce momentarily got that pit, but instantly Optic respond. Now they only need 4 points. Splyce are running in here, there and everywhere to do what they can. They're halfway through pit, but look at this. Optic, they respond. They're going to win game number 4 and go 3-1 up in this series strong side. What a response to an incredible momentum shift we thought could have happened. We just saw one of the best Fathom Capture the Flag games ever in the entirety of Halo 5, in my opinion. Optic, they were embarrassed, and then they've come back and they've made a statement.
Yeah, you can tell they're just leaving that one behind. Yeah, it happened, doesn't matter. We're focused on winning this series and trying to win this tournament. Taking a look at Splyce there. Looking a bit relaxed still, definitely. Their backs are up against the wall right here in the winter bracket finals. They want to make it to the grand finals and have a very similar thing happen just like Atlanta. They need to make their comeback happen now. But let's take a look at the stats. Frosty with 16 kills and a decent amount of assists coming out from Lethal and Snakebite as well. But definitely in the slaying department, Optic Gaming just went to town.
They absolutely dumped all over Splyce in that game. And to put it quite frank, strong side, Splyce were constantly stuck in the base. Optic were all the time just pincering them, pushing in at the right times, and they were timing that camo as well. It seemed like camouflage was more of their focus than overshield. They were more than happy to allow that overshield to be burnt. They clearly feel that camo could do a little bit more work on Empire Strongholds, allow you to get behind in the case of your opponent taking control of the map, but that wasn't even the case. There was at no point except the first few seconds where Splyce had any sort of control.
Well, taking a look at the man on the screen right there, that is TJ Campbell, aka Lethal. Placed second at Atlanta, but you know what? This team has not placed out of the top 2, and you know Lethal had a great run even before Halo 5 with his previous teammates, Snipe Down, Roy, and Lunch. So he's been on the top for quite some time, and he doesn't look like he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. This man is just built with that competition mindset. He does not like to lose. He just wants to win, and you can see it just by his gameplay and just by how he makes his moves from team to team, taking a big risk back in the day. But Lethal, still one of the top players here within competitive Halo.
And look at the difference in the face of Boo Boo Doo Boo there as well. After that high of winning that Fathom Capture the Flag game to getting absolutely dominated there on Empire Strongholds. This is a man that has really been a fan favorite for quite some time now. Of course, there are the Twitch memes of Boo Boo Take My Doo Boo that everyone likes to throw out there, but his Halo skill is absolutely incredible as well. He finally found a team that was able to gather with him, have as much passion for the game, and this Splyce squad has really grown with him in this community. But now they're 3-1 down, Mike.
Yep.
Backs to the wall. do you think Splyce can come back here?
I definitely think there's a chance. And you talk about the fans. Maybe need to send some Dubu over to Boo Boo. Send Boo Boo, take some Dubu. We see that. You talked about it. And Splyce has a massive fan base as well, especially with this roster kind of just really thriving and striving all the way throughout this last year and just making a stamp that they have what it takes to be the best and they have what it takes to compete with the best. So I know we always talk about how, actually, you know, Walshy brought this up at Atlanta. Do they have enough in the gas tank? And I think in Atlanta, they proved that they did. But this is really gonna, they haven't, I don't think, been pushed up against the wall like this. Being down 3-1 in the winter bracket finals, this is new to them. This isn't something they've been through before, so they have to mentally bring themselves back together and make this long truck all the way back to Game 7.
Mental game is a big thing, strong side. But we're going into game number 5, which is going to be Eden Slayer. And I brought up quite a few statistics. I said that the last game was one of Splyce's best games, and then we just watched them get torn apart. And now we go into Eden Slayer, which statistics would say is one of their worst games. So maybe now we'll see them turn up and be absolutely amazing at it, because there seems to be a clear difference from regular season Splyce to LAN tournament Splyce.
After watching Plaza Slayer, do you think Optic Gaming are going to try and get that sniper off the map and just try and burn some shots and not allow Splyce to get that? One
thing I've seen from Optic throughout the entirety of the series is they like baiting everything, whether it be weapon, whether it be power-ups. They are absolutely making sure that they just get those important kills. They don't care where these power-ups are, where these power weapons are, as long as they're able to put frags on the board, put points on the board, and that's why they have such a success story. But here we go, game number 5. It is the do-or-die time for Splyce. If they don't win this one, they will drop to the elimination bracket.
Renegade getting some nades across the map. Snakebite, you'll see in the kill feed, is able to pick up 2 grenade kills on Splyce. Snakebite will go down, and I believe that is, they're going to not get control of the overshield yet. I believe actually was picked up, but it looks like it may have been burned. But we'll see where that sniper ended up as well. You've got Renegade and you've got Boo Boo here inside blue base. Shotzzy picks up a perfect kill, as you'll see that on the kill feed. And now things kind of slow down a little bit. And I believe the sniper is in the hands of Frosty, as you'll hear the shots in the distance.
Yeah, Frosty was able to pick up that sniper rifle, and you can see he's just trying to stay alive at the moment. Splyce are well aware of his position, and they are absolutely swarming him. So Frosty's trying to waste a few bullets just in case he does go down, just for good measure. But it looks like his teammates have come to the rescue just at the right time, and he's able to escape with the sniper rifle still freshly in his hands.
Definitely wasting that sniper. It's super interesting to see Optic Gaming do something like this. That just shows how much that they actually respect the Splyce squad when they get the sniper, because for them to do something like this, they know that it is going to be damaging if any one of those players get control of this weapon. So we have slowed down quite a bit here. Things have got a bit quiet as you hear a few shots in the distance, but not too much action happening right now. Frosty just checking all corners and all pushes here if he's going to be able to spot anyone. Not going to be able to find anyone here, though, as we will hang out here in observer mode to see where these Splyce players are pushing from.
And the thing with Optic is they are happy to waste the bullets because they don't think they need the sniper rifle to win. They don't think they need the overshields to win. So they waste it to make sure their opponent can't use it against them. And instead, they're just going to use their natural teamwork, their natural chemistry to win a game instead. Unfortunately, Frosty does go down, but he won't really mind too much. He's wasted all that sniper ammo, and you can see it's a tied game at the moment, Mike. 8-8. No one's really taken any sort of initiative, any sort of big lead. Maybe it'll be that next set of power-ups, maybe it'll be that overshield coming up that will really be able to change this game.
Yeah, we're seeing some focus get pushed on over by the overshield, out by Turbine. You got a player from Splyce out by the box, and Optic trying to get some eyes on there, but they are going to get sandwiched. Shooter gets the OS, and look at this, picking up a few kills as Splyce take the lead, 12-10. That next sniper is going to be up a little bit later, so we'll see if Splyce is going to be making their push over to blue, and as they do, Shooter keeping up that pressure. This is what we need to see from Splyce. If they want to come back in this series, they've got to play a bit more aggressive, but Snakebite punishing Shooter for that challenge there.
Yeah, Splyce waited. They wanted to get that overshield. They would have been a little bit hesitant because of the rest of the series where Optic have really been baiting it as Shotzzy picks up a big double. Sniper rifle up in 10 seconds as well, so Splyce and Optic will both be moving towards that to try and pick it up. But it looks like Optic are on the right side for it. Splyce, they need to get some eyes on this, make sure this isn't an easy pickup for Optic game.
Sniper is up. Optic Gaming looks like they're just putting some protection around it. They don't need to go for it. They're going to make sure that Splyce is the one to make the move so they can maybe pick up a free kill or something here. Frosty pushing out. Still, that sniper rifle stands. Frosty goes down. Royal 2 standing alive, but Lethal falls. Only 2 players from Optic Gaming here at Blue Base. Wow, comes flying in the door, but Royal 2 denies him of access into the Blue Base. Snakebite staying alive, but look at this. Frosty, he gets the sniper, and look at this. Are you serious? This is seriously what they're doing. They're just wasting all the sniper ammo. This is no joke. They have easily for sure talked about this before this match. Coming into this event, they must have studied Splyce's gameplay and realized this is something that shut them down in the past, and Frosty made a clean getaway to waste so much of that ammo.
Well, and because Frosty was the last one alive, so he just made sure he picked up that sniper rifle and got rid of as much as he can just in case he did die. Optic were very patient. They waited in their base. They knew sniper was coming up, but Splyce took the initiative by flanking around the other side and really getting aggressive, not allowing Optic Gaming to pick up that sniper rifle easily. Still a 4-kill lead. Overshield is now spawning as well. I wonder whether this is going to be another burn. No, somehow Snakebite gets a double, and then his team's going to be rewarded for this overshield.
What a play by Snakebite. But it looked like the player from Splyce may have just accidentally missed the pickup there. He looked like he was on it, maybe just was a little bit off to the side, and this could potentially come back to bite them. Yes, they're still up, but they have overshield and they have sniper. Only 2 shots, but still 2 shots, 2 kills.
Yeah, 2 shots, and Snakebite actually probably be pretty frustrated. He'd rather have a bigger sniper, but you're completely right to what we mentioned earlier. They clearly have a game plan, but using those bullets to good use right through the skull of Boo Boo Doo Boo, and now they're only 3 kills behind here, Mike, and they're getting a little bit more aggressive. Optic are switching their tempo a little bit. They were very passive to begin with, but now they're rotating as a unit.
Snakebite still does have a sniper shot in his back pocket. A few players here from Optic Gaming hanging out by the tower to keep some control, and still trying to make some comeback here. But look at this, you've got a player from Splyce just staying alive. Snakebite will go down, and Optic Gaming getting trapped now in the tower where it looked like they were keeping up that aggression. Big play from Royal 2. Getting the double kill.
And that's the reason why he has the most kills throughout regular season. But Splyce still have this lead, and they're trying to control Catwalk at the moment. But everything's suddenly got a little bit messy, Mike. Neither team having real control. That next overshield is going to be coming up in about 30 seconds as well. So I expect everything to slow down ever so slightly. New sniper rifle up in 10. People will be a little bit more methodical. They don't want to give away any easy kills here, but it's Optic that are getting the trades. They're getting these frags that are really important.
Frosty's ready to take this thing and just fly it off the map possibly. But you know what? He's going to just opt to bring it back to Blue Base. I was just thinking, he's just posted up ready to just waste this entire thing. But it's going to be interesting seeing them now put it to use. He's able to get 2-shot kill there on Renegade. Does spot a player over in the turbine and sees another one spawn up over there. So he's going to make his rotation around over to the tower.
Yeah, and they're rotating, but Splyce have actually got control of where that overshield's spawning. So I think it was Shotzi that picked it up in the end. And now we're all tied up. So yes, Optic, they've got the sniper rifle, but overshield once again goes to Splyce. Can they make any real use of it though? They don't want to get caught out by this sniper rifle. They need to know where Frosty's looking at them, what angles they can be picked up from. But you're completely right, Mike, when you said, I wonder whether Frosty's going to waste it. His accuracy is certainly not going to be great this game, but it looks like he's more than happy to keep these bullets. He's comfortable. He's got teammates around him. Now he just needs to start hitting shots.
Well, we are all tied up here, 32-32 with 5 minutes on the clock. Looks like it is in favor of Optic Gaming with them having the sniper, but Snakebite getting a little bit advantageous, and he'll get taken down by Shotzi, stepping into Splyce territory over there at the red base. But Frosty still hanging back, realizes he may be getting pushed on by a Splyce member, and look at this, he is checking some routes here. This is what we like to call some great prediction. Like, how many times have we seen players like Naded or players on both of these squads really just zoom in at a corner or zoom in at a doorway and a player just pops out and that's a free headshot? So many times. So Frosty trying to potentially bait some players in over by the tower here, and what are we seeing?
Sometimes you've got to try and predict a player. You're completely right, but some of these Splyce players are fairly unpredictable. They do have an unorthodox play style here and there, but Splyce is still with a two-kill lead. They're trying to push up on this catwalk, trying to get an angle on Frosty. They are well aware of where he is now, so they're just keeping out of sight, and here we go again. More bullets being wasted. As soon as he notices a few members of his team die on that kill feed, he says, there is a possibility I'm going to give this sniper rifle away, and I want to give it away as empty as possible, but I'm going to empty another bullet into Shotzi's eyeballs.
that has got to be frustrating if you're Splyce. Just hearing the shots go off in the distance. Man, they're wasting our sniper rifle. We need to get over there and get some control. Overshield's coming up. As you see, all players focus on this turbine area. Snakebite trying to get it. What a swoop! My gosh, he's able to get the burn. Thank goodness for Splyce on their side, as they're not allowing Optic to get that control. Snakebite getting that player weak, and Frosty's gonna come in. A nice little switcheroo as he's finishing Sachi. Boo Boo Doo Boo goes down as well, and this isn't looking good for Splyce. Looking great for Optic Gaming as they're keeping up this pressure. Kill after kill, Optic Gaming have the lead by 2 kills.
Yeah, this has been Splyce's game for the entirety, and now Optic have finally flipped it. They keep changing their play styles, they keep reacting to how Splyce are playing. Splyce keeps switching it up to be unpredictable, but Optic seem to have an answer every single time. And just keeping that sniper rifle out of Splyce's hands has been massive, because Splyce, despite the control, haven't had the power weapons, haven't been able to get any big kills to get any sort of advantageous lead. And now they're down by 2 kills. So Splyce, they need to do something, they need to do it soon.
They're getting trapped here by the tower corner at Blue Base. Not able to move, but they're able to pick up some trades here to keep themselves in this. Down by 3 kills. And they're trying to escape. Shotzi trying to escape over to Blue Base, but there is a player pushing from over there. Lethal gonna leave that as Shotzi does somehow kill Frozzy, as you'll see that in the kill feed. Boo Boo Doo Boo picks up a kill on Lethal. Oh my gosh, we are tied up once again. We've got 40 seconds for the next overshield.
And finally, Renegade has got his hands on a sniper rifle as well, and there is plenty of bullets to work with. There will be one more overshield unless things pick up the pace very quickly. Can we see Renegade hit some shots? Can he prove why Optic have gone for this game plan of getting rid of sniper bullets? They clearly don't want this position to happen. It's 46-46, only 4 kills needed, and it is all in Renegade's hands. His teammates now, they just need to keep their heads down, they need to call out, they need to say where they're being pushed from, and Renegade could potentially win this game.
Right, you are. What Optic Gaming works so hard to prevent. Splyce was able to get control, and check out the kill feed. Shotzi gets a sticky grenade across the map on Snakebite. Renegade spots a player looking to get some moves. Shotzi gets the overshield as well. Renegade gets a sniper beatdown, as you'll see that in the kill feed. This looks like it could be over. Hits the body shot. Shotzi's there to finish it off. Nice teamwork from the Splyce roster. And look at this, they are just pushing. They know they have the advantage. They have OS, and Splyce do it. They win another game, going to 2 wins. We are at 3-2 in the series with Optic Gaming leading, but Splyce, they did it. My gosh, they got that sniper at the end. Honestly, you know that the fear was in Optic when they realized Renegade had the sniper.
How heartbreaking is that for Optic Gaming, though? Clearly having that game plan of, we need to keep the sniper rifle out of their hands, and finally Renegade gets it. Optic, they try and flank round, they try and take it off them, but they forget the overshield's coming up. And look at that, 22 kills from Shotzi. I'm not even sure he's actually human. I think he might be a robot.
What in the world? Over 3,000 damage from him and Snakebite. 60% accuracy still from Shotzi, and 45% from Snakebite. Unbelievable that he is hitting that type of accuracy while putting up that much damage. Those types of shots. Taking a look at that play, that was an incredible play by Snakebite, putting up some big numbers as well. He also had 16 kills, 13 assists, but 17 deaths. A lot of deaths there. Wow, what a series we've got on our hands here.
Mike, we only saw 5 sniper kills throughout the entirety of that game. 3 of those were in favor of Optic. Only 2 sniper kills in the end Splyce were able to pick up. A very strange game plan that we saw from Optic. You quite rightly said it was something they feared. They obviously have played Splyce previously, and they felt that the sniper rifle was really damaging against them. But I mean, this is a game that Splyce didn't win at all throughout regular season.
And I think that kind of messed with Optic's head there. They realized Renegade got the sniper. They kind of turtled up. They got scared. And what happened? Shotzi was able to get the overshield. That's 2 things that's going to pretty much seal the deal, which did seal the deal for Splyce. But let's take a look at the series layout. If you're just tuning in, this is the winner bracket finals. It's Optic Gaming versus Splyce. Optic Gaming leads the series 3-2 in this best-of-7 series. Optic Gaming could close it out here on Coliseum CTF, and this, we all know, is one of their better game types.
I mean, I have stats for you, Mike, but I don't even think there's any point in saying them anymore. We've seen Splyce lose their best game type and win their worst game type. Everything's happening here at Denver, but I'll tell you anyway, Splyce, they went 2-1 in regular season on Coliseum Capture the Flag. We only saw Optic once throughout regular season, and they actually lost it. But of course, you've got to learn a lot of things from recent scrims as well. We've seen a lot of victories on both sides on Coliseum Capture the Flag. And if this is going to be anything like the Fathom Capture the Flag game that we saw earlier, then we are in for one heck of a time.
We really are. My gosh, this series, my heart is pumping here. You couldn't ask for a better series here in the winter bracket finals.
I mean, what a way to kick off Championship Sunday, Mike.
I mean, no better way. No better way when it looks like Optic is going to kind of breeze through after seeing the beginning of this series. You just see Splyce turn the momentum in their favor after the capture of the flag game. And then on top of that, another nail-biting win for game number 5. Right at the end, they were able to get that control and seal the deal. Incredible plays. Let's take a look at the team stats here, from the fall season of Pro League. And you were talking about Royal 2 having the most kills, not just that, having the best KDA as well, 2.27. But you also got to call out Shotzzy, this accuracy on this kid. Such a good shot. You get into a 1v1 battle with this guy, you better turn around. You better run.
I always think accuracy is an interesting stat as well, because throughout the history of Halos, pre-firing has been a very heavily involved thing, right? You just push shots around a wall and you wait for someone to walk around. So I think it says a lot about a player as well, that actually they're pretty patient. Maybe you don't see as much pre-firing if their accuracy is very high, but yeah, you're completely right. He does hit shots every time he gets into one of those fights.
Yeah, he had more shot and more damage dealt, I think, than Snakebite in that game, so that he's laying down a ton of shots. Here we go, though. Best of 7 series, Optic Gaming versus Splyce. This is game number 6. Capture the flag on Coliseum. You're going to see players fighting over rockets, fighting over sniper. That is going to be a big weapon here. Interested to see if Optic Gaming once again will start to burn sniper ammo and potentially throw that weapon off the map. And that sniper was picked up already. Not sure where that ended up. I believe Frosty threw it off the map. No, it is still here. It goes into the hands of Shotzzy. This is looking like an incredible start here for Splyce as they're able to get some control. Shotzzy picking off the face of Lethal, going for the double kill. My gosh, this guy is literally flying around the map.
And look at the difference. He wasn't just throwing that sniper rifle off the map instantly. Yes, okay, it fell off in the end, but he tried to get a kill instead. But Optic, they've got some big frags. They need to worry about this rocket launcher that is in the hands of Mr. Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo himself, though, because they need to avoid him. He's going to be waiting in the base. He's going to be hiding because he knows full well Optic are going to be swarming for his flag, and he's going to protect it with his life.
Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo taking it slow. It's got to be quiet here. He's got the rockets in hand. Looks like Renegade's trying to make a flank over there, but he will get spotted by Snakebite. So that's going to stop. A player is sneaking behind them. Lethal taking down the rocket player. That's 3 down for Splyce here. Last player is going to be Renegade, who just spawned up, and they are moving this flag. Last player goes down, and that flag is halfway. It's hit the 50-yard line. Snakebite is moving it back, and look at this. He is all the way back, and that's going to be a flag cap for Optic Gaming.
A flag pack for them, and a rec pack for you. Comes down to this as the code. Make sure you redeem that one, and you get a nice, juicy platinum rec pack. But Optic, they're looking fiery. They want this Coliseum game, and I love the control they've had on that sniper side. And they're getting kill after kill, and look at this from Snakebite as well. He's flanking round. He should be able to pull this flag if he can get a few players spawning off this cave as well.
Snakebite keeping that pressure up right now, but he's going to go down. 2 players down for both teams. But look at this. Even though there's 2 players down, Royal 2 has no fear. He is still pushing into this base. He's going to finish off Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo, and look at this. He's got that next flag ready to go. He's going to evade that grenade slowly, but he's going to fall. But doesn't matter. 2 players are down for Splyce, and that's about to be 3 down for Splyce, which it is. And Optic Gaming, this could be a very fast game, number 6, as Frosty is taking in flag number 2.
Yeah, Splyce just can't keep up with the pace of Optic Gaming, and you can hear the crowd as well cheering every time a flag goes in. Optic potentially could be moving to the grand finals with just 1 more flag capture, but we do see Rockets once again in favor of Splyce. But again, Mike, look at them. They're stuck in their base. They're trapped. They're turtling back. They need to push out. They need to start getting the advantage. They need to be the ones picking up the kills and getting these flags on the board. But nerves are going to start to come into play now, knowing they're just 1 flag away from that elimination.
Yeah, Splyce need to wake up, and they need to wake up now, but
it might be a little bit too late as 3 go down for Splyce. Optic Gaming's running the flag. That's going to be Royal 2. He's already tossed it out past the 50-yard line. Snakebite right there, ready to catch it. This looks like it might be over. Lethal with the sniper. Is that flag still going? No, Splyce was able to get the return. Lethal pushed all the way back, and maybe that could have been something that cost them, but Splyce, they're still in this. They have got to stop getting caught in their base. Wake up, move out of your base, and get on point. That is what they're doing right now.
Lethal was playing the long game rather than the short game there. He wanted to pick up the sniper rifle. He didn't want to dive on the flag. If he had dived on the flag, he probably would have dived with the rest of his teammates. So I love his patience there. I love his reasoning for grabbing that sniper rifle, but he is going to give it away. I think Renegade might be able to try and pick this one up. It looks like he doesn't actually know where it is. The sniper's just fallen somewhere else. But Splyce now have a little bit more of control here of this sniper side. They're getting the frags. They seem to have woken up a little bit in this game time.
All right, well, Splyce has their backs up against the wall. Love to jump in to listen what their comms are like, so let's jump in to an Astro listen in.
I'm rockets in now.
Inner flag, weak.
I'm looking at flag. Back flag, one shot, Frosty. Dead. Another guy on rockets, 2 dead. He's running a window.
I'm Galloc, 1 shot.
Nice, running a window, guys.
Weak.
2 shots.
Once.
Stay alive, man. Be careful.
Double up, Rhea.
Maze. They're behind top count right now. Lethal 2 shot their maze. They're from.
What are you doing?
2 shot their silver.
They're maze.
2 shot their silver. Another guy in rocket tree.
One was their fountain.
And their rocket. I killed fountain. And their rocket.
Inner flag.
One of transport. 1 shot the rocket silver. 1 shot grass.
I'll run it in.
I'll throw it on you. Top our window. Nice, go back to your base. Yeah, I can't. I'm 1 shot.
I'm at her flag. Going window with this. John, cap that. They're gonna go for counter. Yo, our base in our so fountain.
Flame out when we spawn. That was rocks, Steph. They didn't grab me. Like I said, nice.
I got one here, 1 shot. I got fountain somewhere. Top Gallo, kill me. Top Gallo.
I'm going grass.
One rock down back. Last guy was Gallo.
There's one rock. Yeah, it's just down our carpet. Alright.
No, our sniper ramp, our cave. They're
soaring. One's gonna be our base too.
Dead.
And they're silver. They're rocket silver. 2 shot their silver.
We're sneaking now.
All right, there you heard it from Splyce. They're able to get a flag cap on the board, and you heard a lot of communication when they were rallying that flag back, saying, I got it. And the flag runner, which was initially that rocket player, he ended up just dropping it down and letting the player at bottom snipe finish off that run.
And one thing we've got to note is Splyce have got every single rocket so far, and it has really helped them. It's helped them stay in this game, but it also helped them get that first flag on the board as well. And Splyce, it looks like they've woken up a little bit, but Optic, they're still trying to get that final flag in. There were several times I was thinking this was going to be game over, but Splyce, they're responding with perfect kills. They're picking up the important moments, and that's another rocket spawning. And where are Optic? They're going to pick them up? No, it's Splyce yet again getting it, but Frosty does have a sniper rifle to contest it.
Well, Shotzzy picks up a double kill as Frosty has the sniper, and Shooter's got the rockets, but they're back in their base once again, so they got to make that push, and it actually looks like 2 players from Splyce are moving around the outer rim by sniper over towards the flag.
I really like this though. Start from the back. He rotated into his base first just to make sure he survived, and then he pushed up with the rest of his team with the rockets. Rather than pushing out a little bit willy-nilly, giving away a rocket, getting a silly death, now he has control. He has a total view of the map, and look at the slays that are coming in for Splyce as well. I'm just seeing death after death for Optic Gaming. That should be another one as well.
He's got this stick.
Massive grenade. What Royal 2?
So clutch. That would have easily been a flag cap if Royal 2 did not get that plasma sticky. What a stop. And you still got Renegade with the sniper, but I mean that was a bunch of momentum in the favor of Splyce that was completely eliminated. Splyce are going to have to look to do this again, but he accidentally snipes the back of his teammate, and they will all go down. That's 3 down for Splyce.
Sometimes that can be the disadvantage of just going for those flicky no-scopes, those flashy plays, as Royal 2 is going to push in, and Optic, they may be smelling a little bit of blood, but look at the defense from Splyce as they soar across their flag to get some really important kills. This is what I've loved so far, Mike, is that every time it looks like Splyce have their back to the wall, they pick up those really important frags.
Right there were 2 players down from Optic, and all 4 players from Splyce were alive, and somehow Optic Gaming were able to slay them all, and they are moving this flag past the 50-yard line. This could be it. Optic Gaming looking to close the series. He's going to rally it off to Frosty. Frosty gets it. Optic Gaming take this series here in the winner bracket finals, and they are back. Optic Gaming will be playing in the grand finals. Lethal asked for it. He said he wanted to play Splyce here. He wants to play Team Envyus in the grand finals. Could it happen? Splyce are gonna have to win a few more games here if they want to come back and win this tournament.
I don't think we've seen the end of Splyce yet, Mike. They looked pretty hot in that series, but they lacked just with that final product. They had their backs against the wall the entirety of that Coliseum capture the flag. They did amazing with the kills they were able to put out, but in the end, it wasn't enough as Frosty gets 17 kills once again, 13 assists. What an absolute powerhouse performance from this Optic Gaming lineup.
Yeah, and taking a look at those stats, yeah, I mean, just boo-boo-doo-boo, very uncharacteristic play from him there. It's not something you're always going to see. But nonetheless, they put up a good fight. They had a lot of pressure on them, and that CTF Fathom looked like it wasn't going to happen. They made a miracle play happen and slowly brought this series back. Taking a look at a few of the replays here. On top of that, the Platinum Rec Pack comes down to this if you missed that earlier. But Splyce, they hung in there. I mean, kudos to them, but also kudos to Optic Gaming to kind of feeling revitalized again. You can tell they've got that spark and that fire, and what a series we've casted. Dan, it's been an incredible cast with you, man, and we are going to send this back over to the analyst. Golden Boy, back to you.
So much, gentlemen. What a matchup we just saw between Optic Gaming and Splyce. Optic will be going to the grand finals, where they will await the conclusion of the semifinal, the elimination bracket semifinal, and of course the elimination bracket elimination bracket finals. Apologies. That being said, though, guys, we have to talk about these matches probably starting from the beginning here because Optic Gaming came out the gate swinging, looking really strong here on set.
Yeah, they did. It looked like the Optic Gaming of old. It looked like a dominant performance from them on Strongholds, especially on the rig. One of those game types that they've always been notorious for being so good at. But the thing I was impressed in this map in particular was the way that they handled the railgun and they kept the power weapons out of the hands of Splyce. And this just became a story of the series. You saw it throughout the series. Any map that there was a power weapon, especially a sniper rifle, if they weren't using it Optic, there was a threat that they were going to lose it or turn it over to Splyce. They just decided to get rid of it. Use the ammo. They didn't want to give it to Shotzi. They didn't want to give it to the likes of Renegade. Don't put it in their hands and look at the series result.
Yeah, I mean, you've always seen teams kind of set up in a position where maybe they can get that sniper rifle off the map to keep it out of the enemy team's hands, but Optic Gaming, more so than we've ever seen before in Halo 5, was preemptively using those bullets so that they, only had 4 shots. It could pretty much get those shots off before being taken out in like a 1v1 and making sure Splyce just never has any ammo.
Yeah, sitting out with you and T-Squared in the crowd, and you just see Lethal shooting, the shots. And it makes sense on Plaza, actually, which we can go ahead and move on to. Plaza, same thing there, right? Just kept the power weapons out of their hands.
It's the same thing again, but I think it's a deliberate ploy where I just feel like Optic believe they are a better team than Splyce when it's a 4v4 pistol situation. I think they think their team works better. I think that they just think they can beat them in those situations. You can see it's such a deliberate ploy. It's not even like they're, as you say, they're not trying to find a way to throw it off the map. They're just using the ammo. They don't want the snipe in the hands of those players. And it worked for them again, 50-40 in that game number 2 on Plaza. I don't think we saw barely any sniper rifle kills coming out of Splyce in that game. It's a deliberate, it's a blatant strategy, and it's working for them.
Yeah, we'll talk more about some of the matches here, but let's just go ahead and take a look at the updated bracket here for those of you who are just joining us, as Optic Gaming will be sitting pretty in the grand finals of the HCS Pro League Fall Finals 2017, one step closer to $70,000, and of course, the path for the Halo World Championship. Taking this event is huge confidence boost. Then on the other side, you're going to have Splyce sitting in the elimination finals there. We're awaiting the result from Team Envyus and Team Liquid. That game will be coming up next on the broadcast. But back to breaking down those matches, though, we have to talk about Fathom Capture the Flag. That was one of the most insane games I had ever seen. Fathom as a map gets a lot of flack, right? People are like, oh, Fathom, it can sometimes lead to draws and then another draw and then one cap. And you're sitting there and it's like 30 minutes later and you've been watching the same map. But then you get those moments and then you realize, oh, that's why, it's in the rotation. Because that game was ridiculous, Elamite.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at that map, and there were just multiple mistakes made from both squads. Starting off with Optic, and then you had the counter captures, and then I believe it was Shotzi jumping and hopping over the flag, and then of course, even at the end of that game,
gone wrong.
Yeah, and even at the end of that game, though, 45 seconds left. Optic Gaming clearly looking like they want to send this into a replay, and Splyce, they had a different thing in mind here, relaying that flag bottom center. 3 different people touched it before they capped that with like 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that last cap because I was sat next to Alumni, the Envy coach, and as soon as we saw that flag being pulled, we're like, this is a win or lose the game pull. You saw Booby manage to sneak behind enemy lines on Optic, and he just thought, I can see all of the players, I'm getting call-outs, so all the players are on my side of the map. If I can get this past the 50-yard line, maybe one of my teammates picks up a kill, we're going to have an opportunity to win the game. If Booby gets taken down there, he leaves his teammates in a 4v3 situation on his side of the map, where Optic, if they pick up a kill, then there's probably the opportunity for them to win the game. So a massive risky play from Boo, but it paid off. And that's what you have to do against Optic. You have to take those risks. And he did it, and they won it in the last, microsecond of the game, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, when is the last time Optic has lost a replay match? So I actually really like Splyce's decision. It was clear that they were sitting top center, sitting elbow, just trying to prevent a capture from Splyce or keep them trapped in their base, and Splyce just executed perfectly, and those relays are not something you see very often.
Yeah, and there's so much more to talk about here, but we're going to go to a break. When we come back, plenty more Halo action as we take a look at the elimination semifinals between Team Liquid and Team Envyus. It's going to be an awesome game, and we hope you join us, and we'll see you on the other side.